Okay, so not gonna lie, this August has been one for the indie dev record books. You ever feel like every time you open Xcode, there's a new agent, a new model, a new game changer, just waiting to mess with your flow? I mean, we got GPT-5, Grok Code Fast, Sonic came out of nowhere, and somehow the agents I was raving about last month are already getting dunked on by the newcomers. It's kind of wild. So instead of doing the whole headline chasing routine, I figured, you know what? Let's just give you the honest breakdown. What actually works, what's just noise, and how these new agents hold up when you're in the trenches. Building solo, just trying to get another feature out the door. Just real quick, I'm Daniel. I've been in the iOS world for almost 8 years now, mostly freelancing and shipping apps for other people. But since Dub 25, I've been all in on solo dev life. Launched 7 of my own apps since then, started building everything out in public, and yeah. I'm now building a new community for solo devs over at crafterslab.dev. That's where I post articles, design resources, source code, basically all the stuff you used to get on Patreon, but now it's on our own platform. So if you're one of the 261 Crafters Lab folks, let's make the switch. But hey, more on that for another video. Okay, so this is kind of wild, right? You look around and every week there's like a new agent showing up, the next big thing, some logo you've never seen, maybe some hype tweet with a leaderboard, and you're just over here quietly wondering which one will actually work with your SwiftUI mess at 2 a.m. So, yeah, here's what's actually in the mix right now for me. No corporate demos, just what I've thrown at real projects. Claude Code, I mean, this is the one that still feels the most like a teammate. It's that agent I'll call in when I need to plan out a gnarly refactor, or I want someone to actually read my collude.md and understand my weird indie project quirks. But, it's funny. The magic isn't what it used to be. I'm not getting mind-blowing results every time, but honestly, that's fine. I just wanted to finish the job and not go off and hallucinate a new MVVM layer. So it's settled into that reliable workhorse role. Not the flashiest, but always happy to grind through my code and catch stuff that should have broken days ago. And yeah, the hype is kind of justified. You give it a prompt, it just does the thing, almost scarily fast sometimes. But you ever notice how the second you step outside of mainstream territory, like you ask about some iOS 18 widget API or Swift data weirdness, it suddenly gets a little wobbly. It's hilarious, honestly. You can ask, hey, what's the next iOS version? And these agents will still think it's iOS 19 when next week it's literally iOS 26, like public release. Sometimes I wonder if they're secretly living in 2022. I don't know. I've had a bunch of, wait, what is this agent doing when I tried to go off the beaten path? So it's super fast usually, right? But every now and then you're just cleaning up after it, babysitting, like it's a very smart but slightly feral intern. Codex is the one that kind of snuck up on me. Like it doesn't look fancy, but I swear in the day to day, especially the CLI version, it just fits that indie dev, let me stay in terminal and vibe energy. No endless chat, no frills. Just give me code. Let me move on. And sometimes that's exactly what I want. I feel like it's the one I grab for those quick, just write this utility function moments when I don't need a full conversation. I just want to get stuff done and get back to my app. And then, yeah, there's Cursor and all its plugin-y friends. Kiro, Augment, Root Code, whatever is trending this week. Cursor's honestly my home base now, just because it glues everything together. I can switch between Claude, GPT-5, sometimes toss in a local model when I'm feeling spicy. The new kids like Kiro or Augment, they're cool for side project experiments, but nothing's really broken into my main workflow yet. Pricing is okay, the vibes are indie, but I'm not seeing game-changing moves for Swift Dev so far. Oh, and for what it's worth, the open source gang, Quinn 3 Coder, Grok, Warp, Crush, Zed, Aider. I love these for tinkering. Like late night, what if I just tried to build my own agent stack? Kind of fun. But if I'm being real, for actual production Swift UI apps, I haven't found one yet that just gets my style, my whole project, and doesn't fall apart after 3 files. Maybe soon. But right now, it's more hobby than workflow, and that's kind of the vibe right now. There's always some new agent popping up, but those 4 or 5 are the ones actually living in my indie toolbox. Not perfect, but yeah, they've earned their spot. Even if I still roll my eyes every time an agent tries to rewrite my app delegate for fun. Yeah, so here's the honest bit. You ever scroll past those AI agent benchmark leaderboards on Twitter or YouTube and think, okay, that's impressive and all, but who actually works like that? Like, no joke, I've watched videos of these giant 20 file refactors, hundreds of tests, all green, and it's cool for the wow factor, but it's got basically zero to do with what I'm actually dealing with at my desk. Most days my tests are so much messier. Did the agent actually save me time, or did it just nuke my view model and leave me cleaning up warnings for an hour? You know what I mean? Nobody cares if your agent can crush some synthetic hello world test suite if when you toss it a real SwiftUI bug, it either freezes up or decides your code needs a whole new architecture. Like, I'm not here for a robot that wants to rewrite my project just because. I want something that can actually read my context. The weird stuff I drop into rules.md, my Claude.md full of rants, all the little Swift files that only make sense in my brain, and come back with an answer that feels like an actual teammate, not just a code vending machine. That's kind of the heart of it. Like, can I throw this agent the real mess? Maybe some busted binding logic or a half-baked core data migration. And does it give me a fix that works, that I don't have to babysit for the next 2 hours? Or does it just go off on its own, generate 300 lines of boilerplate, and call it a day? Because if it's the second one, I'm out. I mean, come on, I'm solo. My time is worth way too much to be spending half my sprint cleaning up after an agent that just wanted to show off. And honestly, for what it's worth, I've actually paid for agents that saved me headaches. But if something just makes a mess, I don't care how many leaderboard trophies it has. I'm closing the tab. No regrets. So, yeah. For me, the real test is boring, almost embarrassingly so. Can I trust it with my actual workflow, not just the demo day stuff? If the answer is yes, it sticks around. If not, I'm moving on. That's kind of the game right now. Okay, so here's the thing that nobody really tells you when you first start playing with these agents. Instruction following? Yeah, that's basically solved. It's not 2022 anymore. GPT-5, Claude, even some of those weird open source models can all take a half decent prompt and just do the thing. You say refactor this function or write me a Swift UI preview, and honestly, 9 times out of 10, it'll spit out something that compiles. But here's where it gets messy, and I mean really indie dev messy model knowledge. You know what I mean? It's not about whether the agent understands instructions, it's whether it actually knows your world. Like, is it up to speed on SwiftUI 4? Does it get what foundation model is? Or how app intents work for widgets? Or are you about to spend half your session spoon feeding it docs, patching up the gaps, and low-key wondering if you should have just done it yourself? Because yeah, I've been there too many times. For me, Claude still gets my vibe the quickest, especially if I've got a good Claude.md going. I throw in all my little quirks, style rants, project weirdness, and Claude is just like, yep, I'm on it. GPT-5, though, is the speed demon. You give it a clear task, it flies, but sometimes it's almost too confident, right? Like, it'll make a bold guess about a new API, and then you're cleaning up after it because it's just making stuff up. Codex kind of lands in the middle, not always the cleverest, but super configurable. I can point it at a single function, set the reasoning level, turn down the temperature, and just get exactly what I want, no drama. But honestly, the real lesson, and this took me a while, is that raw power is not the play anymore. It's all about configuration. Give me a model picker, let me set the reasoning level, make permissions granular so I don't wake up to 12 files rewritten. That's the kind of control that actually makes me trust an agent with my app. Because, I mean, come on, 1,000 passing tests are great, but if one wild agent move nukes your project, who cares? I'd rather go slow and steady, make sure the agent actually fits me. So, yeah, no, totally. The IQ isn't the bottleneck now, it's the model's actual knowledge of your world and how much you can tune the agent to work the way you work. Everything else, just background noise. Yeah. So here's where it actually gets good. Like all that talk about which agent is smartest or has the fanciest interface. Doesn't matter if you don't have a way to keep the thing on the rails. For me, the only reason agents actually work in my solo dev life is because I've turned my workflow into this weird ritual. It's not magic, it's just habits, right? You know, every single project I touch now gets its own collude.md and rules.md. Every dumb mistake an agent makes, every time I hit a bug I should have caught, it goes straight in there. It's a bit like leaving notes for future me, and not gonna lie, it feels nerdy. But suddenly, agents actually start to get it. Claude picks up on my patterns. Codex doesn't try to helpfully rewrite my navigation layer for the 100th time. It's like onboarding a junior dev who finally starts reading the playbook. And yeah, when I go to make a big change, like scary, could break my app big, like I don't just dump a prompt and hope for the best. I've started making the agent do explore, plan, code, review, literally like a mini sprint in chat. First get the plan, then code it, then make the agent review its own work before I even look at it. Sometimes it feels overkill, but it catches stuff that would have blindsided me otherwise. And if it passes my sniff test, then I ship. If not, I loop back, honestly. Is such a game changer compared to just saying, hey, write a test for this and hoping it doesn't hallucinate something wild. But here's the catch. Agents are amazing as junior devs, not as replacements for your own brain. Like, if I let Claude run wild, it'll start refactoring stuff I didn't even ask for. Codex? That thing will happily do exactly what you say, even if you're sleep deprived and typed nonsense. So I keep them boxed in. Summaries, reviews, accessibility checks, even a little UI advice. But at the end of the day, I'm driving. They're my support, not my autopilot. And not gonna lie, for bigger features, I actually run multiple agents side by side now. One writes the code, another reviews it, a third tests the changes. It sounds a bit unhinged, like, oh, here's my imaginary team. But it's honestly the best way I've found to avoid that moment where Claude loses the plot halfway through a session and suddenly thinks you're building a shopping cart instead of a paywall view. And then, of course, the oldest trick, if things get weird or the agent starts repeating itself, I just slash clear or start over. No joke. Half the value is knowing when to reset, toss out the noise, and just start clean. Don't get precious about the session. It's like cleaning up your desk. Sometimes you need a fresh slate. So yeah, that's my agent ritual. It's not glamorous, but it's the difference between actually shipping and spending the whole night chasing your own tail because your agent thought it was smarter than you. And, for what it's worth, it works. Yeah, so if you're still here, honestly, you're a legend, because this is the part where everyone wants a list of best agents, and the truth is, it's way messier than a simple ranking. I mean, look, here's where I'm at. Claude Code is still my main ride or die for anything where I need context, a bit of reasoning, or just a calmer second brain that gets how I work. I still love it for planning, for bigger refactors, and for when I need an agent to read my Claude.md and actually absorb my indie quirks. But yeah, I'm a little more careful now than I was months ago. The magic is still there, just not every single session. It's not a miracle tool. It's more like that one coworker who used to always over deliver, but now you know you've got to keep an eye on them after lunch. Then, yeah, GPT-5 is my move fast and break things buddy. If I need a code snippet or I just want a pure function cranked out with no fuss, it's unbeatable. But you know that feeling when someone is a little too confident in a meeting? That's GPT-5 when you give it anything even a little bit niche, like it'll run with it, but sometimes I'm left cleaning up edge cases or reading its guesses like, okay, did you just make that up? Codex, though, has honestly become my little secret weapon for those days when I'm living in the terminal. It's not as clever as Claude, but it's reliable, and the IDE/CLI blend just fits when I want to keep things snappy. Not gonna lie, there's something nice about an agent that doesn't talk back too much, just takes the prompt and ships the code. Cursor's still my home base when I want to blend all these models together. It's the meta agent thing, right? Like sometimes I want to flip between Claude and GPT-5 or even toss in a local model for a one-off test. Cursor keeps it tidy and lets me actually feel in control of the agent circus. And then, honestly, wildcard time. I keep an eye on the open source scene, Quint3 Coder, Crush, Warp, all those. Not quite daily driver material yet, at least for Swift Dev, but man, I feel like we're one breakthrough away from having a local agent that can actually hang with the big dogs. For now, it's just fun to play with, but for what it's worth, most of my success with agents hasn't been about picking the best tool. It's just about building habits. I keep my documents up to date. I treat agents like teammates, not magic boxes. And if things get weird or noisy, I reset and move on. That's it. You ever feel like the indie grind is just an endless reset anyway? Honestly, agents fit right in. So, yeah, no, totally. That's where I've landed. It's not the tools, it's the rituals and the patience and the willingness to let go of a session when it's going sideways. That's how you survive the agent chaos and keep shipping even on the weird days. Yeah. So, look, if you made it all the way here, thanks for hanging out and just letting me riff about the agent circus. I don't know, maybe you're building your own app right now, or maybe you're just trying to figure out if any of these tools are worth the drama. And honestly, it's kind of wild. There's more noise than ever, but if you find even one or two agents that actually fit your groove, that's all you need. Forget the demo hype, forget the endless wall of new features. It's all about your workflow, your sanity, and building in a way that doesn't leave you picking up pieces at 2 a.m. And yeah, if you've got your own horror story, a favorite agent hack, or just want to vent about that time Claude rewrote your onboarding for no reason, I want to hear it. Throw it in the comments, DM me, whatever works. Half the fun is just swapping these indie war stories. Makes it feel a little less solo, you know? If you got something out of this, or you just want to support another dev who's also wrestling with these tools, hit like, subscribe, maybe share it with a friend who's knee-deep in SwiftUI land. You're not building alone, even if it feels that way sometimes. For real. So, yeah, until next time, keep crafting, keep experimenting, and don't let the agent drama burn you out. We're all just figuring it out as we go. Peace.